Știu. Știu.
Știu.
Știu.
Știu.
Știu.
Salut, sunteți la SFL, sunt Cristian Hoziu și astăzi vom vorbi despre situația bancară la începutul anului 2023. În a doua parte a emisiunii vom încerca să aflăm când dobânzile vor începe să scadă, bineînțeles după decizia de la Băncii Naționale de a păstra rata dobânzii de referință la 7% și de a îmbunătăți, să spunem, perspectiva în ceea ce privește inflația și economia. Înainte să discutăm cu primul invitat de astăzi, ziarul financiar de astăzi, îl vedeți aici, îl vedeți imediat pe ecran. Criza energiei a aruncat în aer deficitul comercial al României, 34 de miliarde de euro în 2022. Am avut o creștere a exporturilor cu 22%, din păcate numai până la 92 de miliarde de euro. În schimb, importurile au sărit în aer, ajungând la numai puțin de 126 de miliarde de euro. În continuare, campania noastră, anomaliile din sănătate, trebuie să spunem că în sănătate se pompează bani, dar lunar angajații plătesc contribuții la sănătate de sute de lei, dar nu primesc servicii medicale mai bune. Cu ochii la scăderea inflației, semnificativ mă alertă, BNR a menținut dobânda de referință la 7%. În continuare discuțiile legate de insolvența Vivredeco, cum se va împărți între cine, între creditori, cum se va împărți această pierdere. Madalina Cojocaru de la brokerul Cushman Wakefield Equinox, cel mai multe renuit pe piața Office, vizează reduceri de spații. Atenție! Ioan Gheorghiu Amundi este cel mai mare administrator de bani din Europa. Lipsește acel impuls puternic de relansare a economiei și al piețelor. Europa este mai bine poziționată față de Statele Unite datorită acțiunilor de tip value. Și campania noastră ZF, cum creștem industria alimentară românească, cine ține în viață producția de lactate, o piață de peste 1 miliard de euro pe an. Trecem la prima discuție de astăzi. Ce vor face băncile în anul complicat 2023? Care sunt planurile First Bank pentru acest an? Alături de mine, Henk PAARDEKOOPER, CEO First Bank. Hank, hello, thank you very much for being here. How are you? How is your life?
I'm fine. I'm very fine. Yes.
It's good to be banker in this day.
Yes, it is good to be banker these days. It's always good to be banker.
Why?
Because it's a very interesting profession.
Yeah, the young generation don't want to enter in the bank. They want to go to the Microsoft, Oracle, to be young entrepreneur.
Yes, well, in banking, you are absolutely entrepreneur, and I know it goes with cycles. But what I do like about banking is that you are always at the heart of the economy.
In the bad times and in the good times.
In the bad times and in the good times. So banks are the oil. If you see the economy as the machine, then banks are the oil of the machine. And that's why I very much like to be a banker. I love my profession.
You start to be a banker, to enter in the banking system in what year?
In 1989. It's
89.
It's
so
long ago.
You saw all the crises and all the good times.
I saw a lot, exactly, a lot of crisis and a lot of good times. And I think what you learn is that a crisis is very often a transformation from one era to another era. Let's say like today, we are not in a crisis. I don't want to use the word crisis. We are transitioning. We are transitioning from an era of low interest rates, of no inflation, of negative interest rates, to an era where the interest rates and the inflation are more average and more normalized. But this goes always with shocks. It never goes gradually from one era to another. So we see inflation peaking, we see interest rates peaking. I think now we see already that things are stabilizing a bit, are coming down a bit. This is how I see it. It's a transition, and it's not a crisis. Everything is working. The banking sector is working. Financial markets are working. In the financial crisis, you have all of that not working. But in the current environment, everything is functioning quite okay.
You mentioned new era with interest rates higher and so on. Do you think the economy, the companies, the people can pay these higher interest rates?
It is of course challenging because we're coming from a period where money was basically free. And now you have to pay again for money, which is how it should be. Money is not free. So yes, there will be companies who will not be able to, but it's not about the interest rates. The question then is their business model sustainable? It's relatively easy to grow and set up a business if money is for free. Money is not for free. Now we have to pay again for it. The interest rates are rising. So now the truly successful companies and entrepreneurs who really have a sustainable business model, who have a strategy, who have a vision, they will be successful and they will continue to be successful. But yes, with higher interest rates, inevitable, the businesses that were marginal will now get into difficulty.
So for the First Bank, how was the last year, 2022?
So for First Bank, 2022 was a very good year.
In what terms?
Yes,
in growing, in assets, in profit.
We grew the bank and we became more profitable, and that is not just only because of the environment. We have now in 4 years that First Bank is on the market, completed our transformation. We have invested significantly in our products, in our services, in IT and infrastructure, in digitalization, in automation, in our people, in training, development, in everything. And 2022 was really the year that all of that transformation efforts came to fruition, as they call. We had in 2020 the successful integration of Bank Leumi. Of course, we had the pandemic at the same time. 2021 we could already see improvements, and 2022 was a very successful year because of the results of all the investments and the transformation that we did.
Do you have a figure how much you invest? The bank, of course, the shareholders. We have to mention that the main shareholder of the First Bank is an American fund, J.C. Flower,
Yes.
who bought Piraeus,
Yeah.
and they changed the name in First Bank, and then First Bank bought Leumi.
Yes. So exactly. Well, it's not just changing the name. First Bank is an independent bank. We are a standalone bank, so we're focusing purely on Romania. And we're not just a bank that changed the name from Piraeus Bank Romania to First Bank. We completely transformed the bank. We rationalized it. We invested in, as I mentioned already, automation, digital people, clients, products, services, everything. So how much money we in the last few years we the shareholder through First Bank, obviously, we invested tens and tens and tens of millions of euro, hundreds of millions of RON. And also for this year. We have we will continue to invest to make our bank better and stronger. We are no longer in the transformation of the bank. Now it is really about making the bank even more better, even stronger, more efficient. We are very pleased with the size that we currently have and how we service our clients. But investments will continue, and the fact that that our shareholder is private equity means they are very much committed. That's why they came to Romania to acquire the bank. That's why we acquired Bank Leumi. Strong commitment to invest in First Bank.
Do you have some, let's say, figures for 2022? I mean, in assets, in market share, in.
Not yet.
Okay, but preliminary.
We grew the bank. We will announce our profit in I think in April, May, after the annual cycle. Now, size in itself is not just an objective. We want to be a healthy, profitable, robust, sustainable bank. So it's not only the size; it's also the quality of our bank. And from this perspective, we are quite pleased with 22.
In this 4 year, what was the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest
transformation.
The transformation. Well, I think the transformation is in itself already challenging, because you want to change. You want to change the strategy. You want to change the way you operate. Significant investments in IT infrastructure, digitalization, but also in the brand, in people. And then at the same time, the world goes on. The market goes on. We had pandemic in 2020 when we were in the middle of the transformation, when we were in the middle of the integration of Bank Leumi. We had an emergency lockdown, and the entire economy came to a standstill. Banks are essential services. That means that when everything was closed, what could not be closed was the pharmacies, the doctors, the supermarkets, and the banks.
And the banks.
And in all of the middle of this, we did transform the bank. We did the acquisition. So that was really challenging. But we managed this. It's a reflection of the good people and teams that we have in our bank. And it gave us also the confidence and the comfort that First Bank is a strong and robust bank, and we're able to change and to adapt to external circumstances very quickly.
Do you think you can survive as a middle bank, which is First Bank in this market?
Yes.
You know very well the market. You are CEO in 28, 29 at the RBS Romania,
yeah.
Okay, and you know very well this market. Do you think a medium bank as First Bank can survive in this market for the long?
Yes, I think from a general perspective, the Romanian banking market has consolidated over the last number of years.
But not enough.
And exactly, and will continue to consolidate.
I remember in ZFED Banker 2010, okay, you mentioned Romanian market need to be consolidated. You are the first banker who said that at that time.
Yes, that's long ago, and there has been quite a lot of consolidation if you look at the number of banks and the market shares at that point in time.
10 banks.
Huh?
9 or 10 banks disappear.
Yes, exactly. 9 or 10 banks disappeared. Now we are at around 20. I mean, there are officially 35 banks, but
35.
I think 20 through 2025 through banks. There is no golden number, like this should be the number of banks, but it is still rather fragmented, and over time more consolidation will take place. I think what is important...
The consolidation will take place in what way?
By scale.
Of course, but the current banks take the small bank or what?
It will be a matter of scale. That could be takeovers. That could be. I'm just thinking about what happened so far and what also happened in other markets. There could be mergers. But what is important is that your business model is such that on a standalone, independent basis, you are strong and efficient, regardless of the size that you operate at. And I think the banks that will always remain are those banks that find their niche, that find their operating model through which they can be efficient and profitable.
First Bank is a niche bank or it's a universal bank?
So this is also a bit of the definition and the label. What is a universal bank? What really distinguishes us is we are truly focused on Romanian market, and our, let's say, core proposition is for Romanian entrepreneurs, legal entities, companies, and the general public. So we don't have any other markets or any other
where to go
in the group to focus on. So this already makes us quite unique, because there are not many banks in such a situation, and so this is what we will. So in this way, we are already a niche bank, because we're purely local Romanian economy focused player. This already makes us a niche. We are universal. We are commercial, retail and commercial bank. So we provide the day-to-day banking products and services to households, legal entities, individuals, the key products and services that anyone needs from a bank. Yes, we are universal in that perspective, but we are very much focused on this Romanian economy, and for the, let's say, the day-to-day banking needs and services to fulfill your and our clients' financial goals. That is our focus.
It's enough for, let's say, 30 or 25 banks, Romanian business? I mean, always the banks complain that the Romanian companies are not bankable.
Well,
What is your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. There are companies that are not bankable, and
But they survive. They are working day by day.
some of them yes, some of them don't. At a certain moment when you want to develop your company, when you want to grow it, you need money to expand, working capital or investments. Now you can put in equity, or you can put in a loan from a bank. A loan from a bank at the end of the day is cheaper than equity. But to put in bank debt, you need to have a certain equity yourself. So entrepreneurs who take out all the equity, they will actually not be able to take advantage of bank debt, which is cheaper than equity. But then they will remain non-bankable. But at the end of the day, it is of course it's the cash flow generating capacity of a company that makes it bankable in the first place. But without equity, nobody is going to provide that.
Okay, how is the current environment? Because we see inflation is still high, the interest rates is still high, the perspective is to go down, but as you mentioned, will not be free money as in previous 10 years.
So the way I see it, it is stabilizing at the moment. It has come down a bit. Could go up again. Yes, I mean it could be, but it seems now to be rather stable. Central banks are doing the right things. They're increasing the interest rates. We've seen in the US, we've seen in Europe, and we see also here locally. The interest rates increases are decreasing.
Yeah, Euribor is down right now.
And to stabilize. So exactly, we see Euribor is
Euribor
is
now
about
it's up.
2.5. Yeah, maybe we'll go up a bit further. Euribor has been going down. Is quite stable. I don't think we will enter into a big recession. There might be technical recession, but now we also see that the bigger economies in Europe, they either slightly technical recession or not in a recession. So I think it is actually going. There will be a smooth landing. That's my view, my personal view. A smooth landing. We don't know, of course, what the geopolitical situation will trigger. But other than that, it seems that economies are robust. Central banks are doing the right things.
So the Romanian economy is robust, as you mentioned, yeah?
It's quite robust. Yes.
Yeah. How comes?
I think because it's a good economy. It's well integrated into Europe. Clearly, the structural issues of the Romanian economy are still there, which is the deficits. Yeah. It's the current account deficits. It's the fiscal deficit. So
they are too high.
Yes, they are deficits, and these need to be decreasing. And I think this is what should be the focus on. Regardless of the economic cycle, it's important that there will be improvement on that element. But the Romanian economy has been always outperforming European economies in the last, let's say, 10-year cycle, to put it like this. And now also we see these days where the bigger European economies are going to 0%, 0 to 1, or plus or minus 0.5, plus 0.5. We see the Romanian economy with a few percentage growth doing quite well.
Look, for this year, what is your main objective as a bank?
We want to continue, so we want to be better and stronger. So we will continue to invest in digitalization, in client service, in our products, in our people. We feel confident with the transformation, as I explained. And now the focus is on
to grow. Do you have some
better
figures?
banking, more efficient banking, and really be very close to our clients.
Do you have some figures? Let's say we intend to invest this year this million of
Yes, I mean,
euro.
we of
RON,
course we have we have a very very detailed budget
Yeah.
and business plan for the next 3 years. Yeah, we always update it at the end of the year for next year plus an additional 3 years. So that is our focus, and our plans are ambitious.
What segment of the bank are doing very well, and what segment are not doing well?
So our segments to focus on is what we call retail, which is individuals and households, micro SME, and let's say mid-sized corporates.
Yeah.
With a pure focus on Romanian entrepreneurs, Romanian shareholders, Romanian ownership. That is our focus, and actually we see in all those client segments that things are
but
going.
in retail, the lending is down.
Will
Is
now
down.
go down.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
In
yes.
real estate or other lending is down.
This will now exactly free money. The period of free
Yeah.
money is over. So yes, we will see that the growth percentages of the last years for the sector, that those will not be achieved.
But
this
do you
year.
see some improvement this year when the interest rate will be down, or do you think the retail market will suffer this year?
I think for retail, what's very important is that people need to have confidence in their own future.
Okay.
Because I don't think that when you want to buy a house as an individual, you're going to wait for when is the right interest.
Okay, you never know what
You
is
want
the
to buy
right
a house
interest.
because you want to buy a house. Of course, when interests are rising, you become a bit more, let's say, cautious.
Yes.
And this is what we're seeing. So there will be some slowdown in real estate lending. There will be some slowdown in consumer lending. But this is just I would consider this to be quite natural. On the corporate side, entrepreneurs who have a strategy, who have a business model, for them, whether interest rates are rising or, of course, it's beneficial if money is cheaper, but it will not stop them from investing in their businesses, and that's what we. So yes, there will be a phasing down compared to the previous years when money was basically almost free. But we will continue to see people investing, individuals buying houses, and companies investing in their businesses.
Do you think you can make money in this environment when the lending is down because of the interest rates, but in the meantime you have to put to increase the interest rate for the deposit, and the margin is down?
Well, that is what banking is about. Yeah, you
Yeah.
attract money and then you lend it, and there is a margin in between. And
Because some banks put I don't know what is the number of interest rates on deposit, but when you have 8% of the interest rates and the ROBOR is down, and you have margin 3% or 4%, the margin total is very, very little.
at a certain point in time, at a certain moment, at a certain spot moment, so to speak,
Yeah.
that could be the case. But the interest rate margin will, of course, also fluctuate. So when the price of deposits will go up, eventually also the price of lending will go up. That will not go automatically on the same day. But these things, they move hand in hand. What is very important is that there is enough liquidity in the system. Because if there is not enough liquidity in the system, you get those disbalances. For this moment, there is sufficient liquidity
Yes.
in the system. That's what I was saying. Banking markets are working. The central bank is doing the right thing. There is sufficient liquidity. So yes, we see, of course, the prices of the funding going up. But at the same time, of course, the lending rates are up as well.
Okay. Do you intend to grow through open more branches, or you stop the branches as you have today, and do you intend to hire more people, or to focus only on digitalization?
No, we have 40 branches now. We are quite.
Are you comfortable with 40 branches?
Yes, we are comfortable with our footprint that we
Yeah.
currently have. We're close to our clients. Of course, we have invested and will continue to invest in digitalization and automation. For us, it's really important And this is what we call, digital with a human touch. That whenever a client wants to have a personal interaction, it is possible with our bank. Whether they can go to a branch, they can call, they can go through video advisory. So they will always have facing an individual, not a robot. They will always face an individual. With our current level of digitalization and automation, the 40 branches are okay. We don't have any plans now to further decrease it. We don't have any further plans to increase it. I'm not saying that 40 is the magic number that we will always stay with, but for now we are comfortable with our branch footprint, with our video advisory service, which allows people to speak to a banking agent without having to go to a branch. A lot of people have really found that channel, certainly since the pandemic, that has helped. Or they can call our call center 24 hours a day.
How is the market for mid-sized Romanian companies?
The market for mid-sized Romanian companies?
Yeah, the economy, their business. Because at the end of the day, you are looking their business.
Yeah, I mean, so we see a lot of entrepreneurship in the Romanian market. This is exactly also our target model. Micro SME and mid-sized corporates with a Romanian ownership or entrepreneurships. There is a lot of entrepreneurship in the Romanian market, and I see that as quite positive. Yeah.
Okay, do you intend to acquire another bank?
Which one?
I don't know.
Give me an advice.
No, if you want to have scale, do you want to have scale, or you are comfortable with your scale right now?
I mean, our strategy is based on standing on our own and being autonomous and grow the bank and making the bank stronger and better and more efficient. We acquired Bank Leumi. The opportunity was there in the market, and we looked at it and we thought that's going to be a very good addition to First Bank. But it's not part of your strategy because you don't know what is in the market, what is available. So the strategy is based on our own, autonomous. We can make a difference in the Romanian market, and we will see what is happening on the market from that perspective. We have seen a few deals in the last few years. That's why I was asking the question, which one? Please give us your suggestion. But other than that, we focus on First Bank.
Okay. Do you think in the market, in the economy, it's business, or there are business which is not taken by the banks? I mean, in the companies, because the country is split in two. It's urban market, where all the banks are fighting for the clients, for the retail, and then there are rural market with no one want to go there. No banks want to go there because it's not enough business, not enough clients, and the money are not enough.
No, I mean, you don't have to have a branch everywhere for this, but we are focusing on Romania. And of course, there are some areas, Bucharest, Cluj, the bigger cities, Iași, where there is a lot of development, a lot of dynamic, because of the fact that they are cities and there are universities. It attracts entrepreneurs. There is resource. There is people, which is the most biggest, let's say, and most important asset, if you can say like this, for any company. And for this, of course, you go to the cities, but it doesn't mean that in the what you call rural. I can think of enough clients who are in the rural areas where we go and who do banking with us.
Okay, in Romania, the banking system, it's under 50% under GDP. Okay, Romania needs sub-bancarization market.
Mm-hmm.
How comes?
Yeah, so then...
do you see any improvement in the future?
Yes, if you and for this, so yes, we have seen and we'll
because the GDP doubled in 10 years, but the increase of the banking systems was less. So assets in GDP, it's 40% right now.
Yeah, so for this is you have the banking sector and you have the capital markets. These are and yes, Romania is low compared to Europe.
Do you have an explanation why?
I mean, you mentioned
Hungarian, it's better. Yeah, in Hungary it's better. In Bulgarian it's better. In Romanian,
I
it's
think
a disaster.
there are some. I mean, financial literacy. You mentioned about companies not being bankable, which is about if entrepreneurs take out all the money out of their companies, they are not bankable, and then they forgo the opportunity of financing through debt. The banking sector and the capital markets as such have really developed in Romania, but it's also the structural issues about the financial literacy and for legal entities to keep a certain amount of equity in your business that are required. Also, banks play a role there. I think banks need to also support, and this is also happening. Banks do that individually and through the ARB to improve financial literacy and to also improve teaching companies to keep a certain level of equity in their businesses so that they can attract debt and that they can grow further.
How comes that, let's say, we have pandemic, we have war crisis, energy crisis, inflation, interest rates, but the NPL of the banks are very small?
Yeah, they have come down, and I think this is a reflection of the quality of the banking system. Of course, also the regulator is monitoring this very closely. But it absolutely is a reflection of the quality of the Romanian banking system that through the economic cycles, the NPL ratio did not increase. Of course, when pandemic came, I think all the banks took put additional buffers.
Yes.
And have been quite conservative. It did not turn out to be as negative as I think a lot of analysts and economists thought it was going to be. So the fact that we see the NPL of the system going down further slowly to European levels, because European levels is about 2.5%. Okay. It's still a little bit higher than 3%. But this decreasing trend we will see, and is a good sign because it means a healthy sector.
Do you need more capital? Right now it's a pressure for the banks, Banca Transilvania, Czech, BCR, Unicredit, BRD, to attract more capital, to put in a hybrid capital.
We are.
Is the same case with you?
Our capital ratios are very healthy. And for us, there is no requirement for additional capital. We have enough capital to run the bank, to grow the bank, to invest further in the bank.
So you don't need more capital?
We don't need more capital.
Okay. How you see the banking system this year?
From what perspective?
I don't know. General. Do you think the NPL will appear? Do you think the Romanian banking system will need more capital? Do you think the profitability will be down?
I think 2022 was a stellar year for the sector.
Yeah, for the sector.
Now the level of profitability is one thing to look at, but what's also important is your return on equity, your NPL ratio. So it's not only the absolute number of profit that banks are generating, because here are very much differences between banks. So NPL ratio we discussed. I expect this will go down further. The return on capital, I think for the sector is at a good level. I think if the sector could maintain this level, it would be very good. Individual banks, we will absolutely see differences.
In general, the return on equity, as I remember, as EBA said, is 94.4%, the biggest in Europe.
Yes, yeah. So I think if you could maintain that level as a sector, I think that would be very
But
good.
how comes that in Romania it's so high, the return on equity, and in Poland it's 6%, and in Germany it's 4%?
I don't know exactly the Polish market and the German market. I I mean, in euro economy, it's a different dynamic because, of course, there is no currency issue. Now, in Poland, it's not euro. Romania is not euro. Polish banking market is further consolidated than the Romanian banking market. So price probably is there becoming a more stronger competitive, let's say, element. So these could be differences that explain this return on equity.
What is the situation with the sale of the bank? There are some rumors in the market. Bloomberg published 2 weeks ago that it was a discussion between the shareholders of the first bank, JC Flower with the UniCredit. There are some rumors in the market. What is the current situation?
So it's not the first time that First Bank was rumored like this, and it's probably not going to be the last time. Obviously, this is something for the shareholder. I consider that First Bank is now more prominently in the press with these rumors is a reflection of the fact that we are doing well. Yeah, we're a strong bank. We make a difference, and everyone knows the First Bank brand. So the fact that we are in the news once in a while, I consider as a positive. Our shareholder is committed to the bank to further grow and make the bank better and stronger. What plans they have with regards to the ultimate future of First Bank is really something for them. I'm the CEO of First Bank.
You run
I run the
daily
bank.
operation.
Exactly.
So
with the
you have a
teams,
good sentiment, good mood for this year. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. In banking and the economy.
Yes.
Ok.
Yes.
Thank you very much. A fost Henk PAARDEKOOPER, CEO First Bank. Luăm minutul Business Magazine, ne întoarcem în partea a doua să vedem când vor începe să scadă dobânzile.
Indiferent de industrie, trebuie să alegi între mai bine și mai mult. Este filozofia pe care se bazează Ionuț Andrei, CEO și fondator al agenției de comunicare integrată VO. Din punctul lui de vedere, succesul ține de concentrare și de poziționare, de ceea ce urmărești și de cât de repede vrei să se întâmple lucrurile. Iar faptul că businessurile sustenabile se construiesc încet, în timp, se observă și în evoluția afacerii pe care o dezvoltă. Costin Dămășaru, doctor în management, licențiat în psihologie și cu un masterat în administrarea afacerilor, a creat un centru care folosește tehnologii și proceduri de neuroterapie, Veruvis, prin care clienții ajung să-și îmbunătățească performanța propriei minți. Ce înseamnă să faci business pentru creier? În copilărie îi fura bijuteriile mamei ei. Tot cam pe atunci se visa antreprenoare. Drumul Andreei Paraschis prin viață a fost destul de lin și a condus-o la ceea ce face astăzi, adică la gestionarea zilnică a unei afaceri în care produce propriile modele de bijuterii, totul sub eticheta Buz du Bijou. După ce a încercat să urmeze 4 facultăți diferite și niciuna dintre ele nu l-a captivat suficient încât să o ducă la bun sfârșit, experimentând în paralel cu mai multe idei de afaceri, Oliver Vluhi a găsit în cele din urmă proiectul potrivit. A dezvoltat un motor de căutare pentru zboruri cu avionul, care a devenit principalul business și hobby totodată. După ce statul a vândut în trecut băncile mari deținute, ultimii ani au adus pe piața bancară locală un proiect unic, o premieră în istoria bancară din România, fiind prima dată când o bancă de stat, Exim Bank, a cumpărat o bancă privată cu capital străin, Banca Românească. Despre noul model de business, despre ascensiunea băncii rezultate din fuziune și despre planurile noi bănci vorbește Traian Halalai, președintele executiv al Exim Bank. Citiți despre aceste subiecte, dar și despre multe altele în cel mai nou număr al Business Magazine.